Aaron, what happened with Bellinger on the bases there in that 8th inning?
Yeah, Hammy grabbed on him going to second base. So, so we'll see what we have. Obviously getting up and what next steps are.
How alarmed are you?
I don't know, alarmed.
I mean, he's been a great player for you defensively. He means a lot to this team. Just seeing him walk down the stairs, having to pull himself out of the game, I imagine that's pretty concerning.
Yes, it is, of course. I don't want to speculate too much on it. It looks like it could be something, but we'll have a better idea, like getting up, and then if we need to get tests and where we go from there.
So right now, not scheduled for any type of MRI?
I mean, I'm sure he will, but we don't have anything scheduled as of now, no.
I know you don't know exactly what you are dealing with, but how do you expect to maybe attack left field if he is not a player for you?
Yeah, we'll kind of do what we have to do, piece it together. Sanchez going tomorrow, probably have Schumann in there regardless, so we'll figure it out and see the significance of this, as it unfolds tomorrow.
Him staying in the game initially, did he just not think it was anything to worry about, and then he realized it after the inning?
I think so, yeah. Because I thought I noticed him going to second, but then I thought when he waved me off right away, I thought maybe he knew he was going to be a safe, so he just kind of pulled the chute a little bit and cruised in. But he said he felt like, as Grish's bat was unfolding, that he would have had an issue scoring probably. So, at that point, obviously, he took himself out.
Not trying to speculate, but just how big of a loss would he be for that lineup, considering you guys are missing some people already?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's, a huge member of our team and what we do, and, just a tremendous all-around player. So, hopefully, whether it's some time or not, hopefully it's on the minor side, but we'll see.
It seemed like they had a bunch of base runners, but Weathers was able to kind of bear down there. Just what were you seeing from him tonight?
Yeah, made some big pitches in big spots. Thought his changeup again was good. The sweeper was a better pitch for him tonight, but he did a good job using his fastball too. So his mix was excellent. I thought him and Wellesley did a really good job. I thought he got into a good rhythm too as he got into the game. Probably could have even let him finish that those last 2 innings was probably his best too, as far as just being efficient and getting through a tough part of the lineup too. So really strong outing for him that set us up tonight.
Some key at the offense as well. At times tonight, look at the way the offense was able to come through when you had to tonight.
Yeah, it did enough. So anytime you're in a bullpen game situation, that can be challenging for hitters. But obviously, couple homers, JD homer there to give us a little breathing room there, and then Blackburn comes in and is really efficient in his 2 innings, and Buss is able to close it out. But did enough offensively, and we got to keep moving the needle though as a group offensively.
You guys about Wells at bats. What are you seeing lately out of him?
Yeah. A little closer to this. I'm not making it up. I mean, I feel like the last couple of weeks, obviously the homer is great, on time, aggressive swing. You see the power the other way. One of the things that was really encouraging to me was the ground ball to second off of Alvarado. That's a tough matchup, and it wasn't like kind of where at times this year, especially against some lefties, where he's just been out in front, a little overmatched or whatever. It was on time, good aggressive swing. He just happened to put it into the ground. But, hopefully this is him, inching closer to being who he knows he can be.
You guys have had a lot of injury blues this year from guys missing the start of the year, now Judge standing and not hitting for a month, like you can, but yet you guys are in a pretty good position, winning games, scoring 1 or 2 runs with the pitching. What have you learned about your club watching this stretch here that you guys are continuing to win with so many major pieces out and not really hitting?
Well, I think all year, early on when we were going really good, and then, over the last month where at times it's been more of a struggle, I do feel like this group's done a good job of finding ways to win games. Last night it was pitching and defense. Tonight, obviously, more pitching, some big swings, couple balls out of the ballpark, attack on run. We've done it at times with the base running component. So we do have different ways of beating you. But the biggest thing that's kept us in there is the run prevention side. We've, done a good job, and that's allowed us to kind of hang in there as we've gone through some struggles offensively.
Aaron, what did you see on that Caballero play defensively?
The drop,
Yeah, the drop.
I saw everything. I saw the same thing I'm assuming all you guys saw
So they say that he dropped it on purpose.
on purpose.
They really think that he jumped in the air and he was able to.
That's what they said.
Do you think it's because it's him, because he does that game within the game stuff, that it's like,
Yeah.
you think that
Oh, him?
it's Jose, that they're kind of,
I don't think so. I think he just missed the call, and
Just how do you wrap your head around that? Because it seemed pretty obvious, as you mentioned.
yeah, I mean, whatever. They're human. They miss it too, so it's okay.